Let's face it, eBay returns suck. You know it, I know it, we all know it. But if you're selling on eBay and you want to stay competitive, especially if you're selling clothing like I am, you really have to accept returns, or you're going to get left behind. This video is all about an eBay return experience that I recently had and how it didn't go as I expected it to. The ending was quite different than what I anticipated. Let me first explain what happened. I sold this LL Bean sweater, women's sweater, on eBay and shipped it out. Now with 99% of my purchases in my store, I allow returns. You get the item, you don't like it, I'll pay for you to send it back. And as was the case with this sweater, the woman got it, didn't like it, and she filed for a return. Now nobody likes to get that return request, but it's part of business. It happens, and from time to time you're gonna get returns, you just roll with it. So when I got this return notification, it was automatically accepted, and I was just waiting on the buyer to ship it back. Now sometimes on these returns I've noticed that people will change their minds. They'll keep the item, never send it back, and then eventually it gets dropped. That wasn't the case with this, but usually whenever I get that return request, I kind of just forget about it until that item has come back to me in the mail. But one day I was looking at my returns and I noticed that it said this item had delivered. In my return page, it said delivered, refund by February 2nd. The day I was looking at this was February 5th. Clearly, I was well past that time. So on February 5th, when I received this notification, I was a little concerned because I hadn't received the item back yet. I wasn't gonna refund before I had received it, even though it said delivered. Side note here, sometimes an item will show delivered and then it will deliver the next day. So in my mind, I was just thinking, okay, this will eventually deliver. USPS in my location was already a little behind because they were understaffed. But on top of that, we got a lot of snow and ice, which pushed things back even further. There were a couple of days that USPS didn't run at all, or at least not to my location. Now at this point, I was a little concerned that eBay was just gonna refund the money without me having the item. I also didn't want to get a ding on my account for not responding, but at the same time, I was still thinking the sweater will show up and eventually I'll just go ahead and refund once I get it. Now let me take a much needed break to say that eBay is one of the only platforms that returns are more of a standard on. If you're selling on Poshmark, Mercari, Grailed, Depop, and some of these other sites, it's kind of just understood that when you purchase an item, you can't return it unless it's not the item that you bought or unless it's damaged. eBay's a little more lenient towards the buyer on their policies. If you don't like returns, then let me suggest that you get on other platforms. For years, I was only selling on eBay, and last May, I jumped on to multiple sites and started selling. And in that amount of time, I can count on one hand the amount of returns I've received on hundreds of transactions. It's really been a game changer. Once an item sells, as long as you described it the way it was, you don't have to worry about that item coming back. If the buyer gets it and it doesn't fit, it's theirs now. They have to deal with it. It's kind of understood that when you're purchasing something, ask all the questions that you can before you purchase to make sure you understand what you're getting. For this reason, I love selling on multiple platforms. And now you may be thinking, I really don't have any time to manually post on all these different sites. Well, that's where Vendoo comes in. Vendoo has saved me so much time. In under 2 minutes, I can bring in an eBay item that's already listed and cross-post that one item on up to 10 different sites. It's been huge. So huge that I've had over $30,000 in sales on platforms other than eBay. Sales that wouldn't have been there, or they would have taken longer on eBay if I hadn't been posting onto those sites. Vendoo is super simple to use. They offer a free trial. You get up to 5 listings to play around with and kind of get an idea of their site before you commit to even purchasing a plan. And they have a ton of plans that range from a few listings per month up to hundreds of listings per month. It's really affordable, and in my opinion, it's worth every penny. So if you want to say goodbye to returns forever, jump onto Vendoo and start out your free trial today. There's a link below in the description of this video that will get you started without having to pay anything. Give it a shot, see what you think. Worst case, you move on, but I think you'll see it's amazing. All right, now let's get back to my return case. A couple days went by and I was thinking I really need to call eBay on this before something happens, before they go ahead and just issue the refund. So I went online on the eBay site, I clicked the help and contact and had them call me. And within a minute, a representative called me. I explained the case to this person and they were very generous and just were telling me that the buyer had actually shipped this back and tracking had showed that it had moved from the buyer's address to another location in a different facility. However, tracking wasn't uploaded into eBay, so I couldn't see this. I couldn't see that it actually had been moving. The fact was the eBay could see that it hadn't delivered, but it was sitting in a USPS site somewhere in the US. The eBay rep on the phone put me on hold for a few minutes and said she would come back after she talked to her manager about what they could do with this case. I was fully expecting that she would just say, sorry, you need to wait this out and wait until this item delivers to you. And then once that happens, you can refund the money. And when she came back on, that was my thought. But she completely surprised me. And I'll say this was one of the rare experiences where eBay went above and beyond. She notified me that tracking had showed that this item had been sitting in a facility for several days, longer than a week, and it hadn't moved. And she said that because of this amount of time, eBay has to assume that the package is lost. Therefore, it's probably not going to come back to me. She notified me that she would be refunding the buyer for the full amount while also not taking that money from me, which is crazy. She said she would open a case that moment as soon as we hung up and close it in favor of the buyer and myself, meaning that eBay would eat the cost of that refund. I couldn't believe it. How many times does this happen? I was fully expecting eBay to say, sorry, you're out of luck, but that wasn't the case. The woman on the phone even apologized for not greeting me after she came back onto the phone, at which I thought that was a little excessive because she had already greeted me when she took the call. She didn't need to greet me again by my name when she jumped on the phone the second time. But that's neither here nor there. My only thought with that is eBay, maybe let your reps every once in a while go off the script and not have to follow it to the T. It's a little robotic. Sellers like us kind of understand when someone is being told they have to say certain things and they don't get the freedom to speak the way they would like to speak and show their personality. Food for thought. So as soon as we hung up on the call, the eBay rep opened up a case and closed it that day, thereby releasing $40 and change back into my account so that it would be deposited into my bank account within a couple of days. Not the ending that you were expecting, huh? Now I know that not all returns go like this, and let's be honest, most returns don't go like this, but in this case, eBay got it right. Thanks so much for watching this video. My name is Jason, and I hope you have a great week reselling. We'll catch you on the next video. See ya.